Hello everyone, this is Charles BridgTec with another flashlight review, this time on an AstroLux MF01 Mini. Now I was sent this by Banggood.com, comes in this box. So let's wait no further, let's open this up, see what's in. Now they come in different colors as well as black, silver, but I have the copper and stainless steel version here. Comes with a manual. As you can see here, showing my version comes with the luminous SST20 LEDs. Now the user manual is very nicely detailed. You can program this light. So we'll be going over the quick start features on this, get you started right away. We're going to look at here at this small chart. As you can see, puts out a lot of lumens, 5,500. So that's really nice on the manual, very nicely detailed. Got to take my hats off to AstroLux for that. Really helps rather than having a chart with a diagram. That they still have that, but I mean they have additional information, a little bit more thought out writing, that is, help us figure out the light a little bit easier. And the light comes with 2 O-rings and 1 lanyard. Alright, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the light. Now inside, you'll hear it. Those are additional battery tubes, which I'll go ahead and take those out now. They're part of your included accessories. You have an 18650 and you also have one that's for 21700 or 20700 cells. Works perfectly for those. Or you can run it without and using a 26650 battery, which is what I will be using in my tests on this light. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at it. Put the additional accessories over here. And there's the light. Got a lot of weight to it. Really nice. Head is real heavy on that. And the button does stick out past the body, as you can see. Now this has a finish, clear coat finish on this copper, so hopefully that'll keep from tarnishing. Here's the charging port. Feels nice and snug. Knurling is very nice and rough, so it's going to help with slipping or not slipping out of your hand with gloves, or if it's raining outside. Stainless steel body. Everything, style and design on this is excellent. Really liking the way they went about this. It just looks like they took the MF01 and shrunk it down and then shrunk the head a little bit. So nice that they kept that same concept of the light itself. Lanyard hole there. And heat sinking is really deep. And the finish on this is excellent as well. So hopefully this will keep from tarnishing over time. last longer. Alright, so now let's go ahead and take the barrel off the head, and I'll show you. There is grease on the threads and the O-ring. Straight contact point on that head. And now I'll show you the tail spring up close. And you've got grease there as well. And there's the tail spring. Heavy duty design, dual springs. Alright, so now I'm going to bring out the battery that I'm going to be using in my test. Here is an Emerin. This is a 5,500 milliamp 26650. This is an unprotected cell. Now I tested these myself. They're right at about 5,000 milliamps, so still a lot of power in there, but I was a little upset about the additional 500 milliamps that I wasn't getting. I didn't pay a lot of money for these, but now you can get these online. There's many battery stores that you can get it at. All in all, still a good quality battery. Putting a lot of stress on these things over the year and a half that I've had these, and they've done actually pretty good. So now we're going to go ahead and put this all back together, and it should come alive when we're done screwing that in. It is alive. Yep. Alright, so now we're going to go over the UI. Now the UI, as far as getting you started, is actually pretty simple, but if you want to program it, it can become difficult. But don't worry, you can factory reset this. So now let's go ahead and go over some of the things it's going to get started with right out of the box. Now right out of the box, it's set for ramping, so we're going to use that for the first guideline here. Alright, so now let's go ahead. Simply clicking the side switch will activate the light on the lowest setting. So now you could just press and hold to go that level all the way up to high. Real super floody on this, especially with all those SST20s in there. Nice cool white beam on there. It's going to give you the brightest light output you can get for this type. See, really kind of a centralized hotspot area here, but it's really large and it just bleeds right over off the table. So there's no strict cutoff line. It just keeps going out past here, you can see. So really nice floody beam performance on this. So now with that on high, you can double click. We'll go to turbo. Now that's a lot of light. I can feel the heat coming from it. So you definitely don't want to run that for long periods of time on turbo. It's definitely not advised. I went ahead and click on it one time, turned it off. It does have memory mode, so it was on high before we double clicked, so that's nice. Then of course we can go back down with the ramping mode. Now while it's still on, we can actually change it to stepping mode. So we're going to go ahead 1, 2, 3. Now that's on stepping mode. Slight output increase there on the light. Now just press and hold that to go through those light outputs individually, or you can press and hold to go through those, and as you can see, it actually does little steps through the light output. Double click there at the top of that, same thing, press and hold goes back down, and then you're back to the regular UI. And that's it on the UI part. So that's really simple. Now if you want ramp, I prefer the ramping, so that's what I'm going to use. You just 1, 2, 3, Now you're back to the ramping feature. Go right back up and back down just like that. Now, if you want to check your battery level, that's real simple. When it's off, 1, 2, 3. Now you have battery check. That's 4 point, almost 1. Almost 1. It's kind of a little bit of flicker there. So as you can see there, just that little flicker. So it's probably just below 4.1 volts and almost at 4 volts. So that's pretty interesting. And it'll keep doing that until you click on the side switch. Now if you want to lock out this light digitally, you're going to go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4 on the side switch. Now the lights are on, letting you know that it's in standby mode. So now when you go to click on the button, it'll come on the lowest light output but will not activate. You can press and hold it, but it will not stay on. It will not come on accidentally, and your lights are there letting you know that it's still alive, waiting for you. Now of course, if you want to manually unlock that, you can do that way as well, but I'm going to go ahead 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the light's back on. Now you can manually lock the light out by turning the tail cap a little bit, or you can turn the barrel. So either way, got a couple ways you can do it. I prefer the manual, a lot easier to do. Now from off, you can double click this to get into turbo, so that's always nice, instant access to that. Now if you want to get strobe, we're going to go ahead and do that now. We're going to go ahead and double click and hold. So now you have what they call a candlelight feature. That's actually pretty interesting. And you can raise, you can kind of see that how it's flickering, and you can raise that brighter if you wanted to do it a little brighter, or you can go back down. So that's pretty interesting there. And these are actually pretty cool if you get like a colored tint on that, maybe yellow. It'll look really close to a candle the way it flickers like that. Okay, then you're going to double click again. We'll get you bike mode. Double click again. We'll get you strobe. And that is probably the most distracting strobe I've seen there. And then of course double click again. We'll get you the rapid higher output strobe, and like I said, this is one of the most distracting, and it is a constant speed on that flashing. Double click again. I'll let you see that for another second here. It's pretty interesting how that does that. And if you double click again, it'll be back at the previous one, more like a candle. And you can raise that back up and lower that as well. So that's it on that portion. Now we'll go ahead and do what they call a auxiliary LED. We can actually turn off these LEDs, and we can change them as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we got it where now it's just off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you can see they're on, real low, dimly lit. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now they're a little bit brighter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we're right back to the flashing of those auxiliary LEDs. So that's really interesting to be able to turn them on and off. Or you can kind of lower the light outputs, less drain. So I like leaving it like this because I manually lock out my lights anyways, so that's okay for me. You can do a factory reset on this. All you do is loosen the tail cap, press and hold that side switch, and turn it back on. That does a factory reset, and release it. It'll blink for about 3 seconds. Once you're done with that, it's easy. All reset. Now you can go back and start over again, or you can leave it alone. Your choice. So, really nice idea with this UI. I'm not really into the bells and whistles on a light. Now, the quick, features on it that you can access easily, even by memory, but when you have 20 or 30 different settings per, feature, I'm not really all that much into that. But now we're going to go ahead and take a look at those LEDs I was showing you in the UI. Now this is special optics here. This is running the luminous SST20 LEDs, 7 of them in there. Alright, well, let's wait no further. Let's take this outside, see how it does in the wilderness. We're out here in the darkness with the AstroLux MF01 Mini. Let's check it out. We're going to go ahead and turn it on the lowest setting here. Got it on the ramping. You can easily see about 5 feet at this light output. Alright, and faintly making the fence there, and that's about 12 feet. Let's do the water spout, 35 feet. I'm going to raise it up a little bit, see how it does. I'll raise it about right there. 65 feet to that tree. There it is on the fence again. Give you a sense of the beam, how it lights it up. Not quite there. It's a tree of life. I mean, faintly with my eyes. Alright, we're going to go up a little higher here. Tree of life, let's see how it does. A little bit higher there, as you can see it's making it now. Nice, floody. 65 feet to that tree again. Fence line. Tree line. Let's go up here a little bit higher on it. There we go. Easily making it across the park now. You can see. This little thing amazes me, actually. 238 feet. Tree behind it. See there? That's incredible. Alright. This goes to the highest output beyond the UI, that is, before turbo. Look at that. Come alive. Easily making it across the park. And the other one. Beam profile here. Actually, the beam goes way down here too. Huh. There's the hot spot. not a hot spot, but focused area there. The beam is really nice. So it's got some pretty good throw in this. Do a before and after here. Let's do turbo. See how it does. There's turbo. Look at that. Incredible. Now it is cold out here, but it will still get toasty on turbo. I'm going to double click again, step down a little bit. Here we go. Look at that. Way up in the trees, way out on the ground. Incredible. All coming from this mini. Turbo again here. Look at that. Sheer wall of light. Tree of life. Hope you enjoyed those night shots. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those night shots. This MF01 Mini is incredible light. Cannot believe how much light. Now this is just a huge wall of light. Now believe it or not, it can throw pretty good out there, you know, as you saw in those night shots. But it's just the amount of light that's all around you, side by side, to the ground, up to the sky. If you've got trees, you're going to be seeing up there as well. Huge wall of light. I'm kind of leaning towards the 5000K. I'm really liking that for my flood lights, that is. But 6500, the cool white, they're definitely more for dedicated throwers. Some combination beams depending on the reflector and the LED used, but really nice light. Fits good in the hand, you know. Easily hide it if you have to. Running it on turbo, this thing will get hot, and that's what it's designed to do. So if you're going to hold it down here. Eventually with the heat, when it generates here, it'll go down the barrel as well, so it makes a good hand warmer. Nice and cold out there tonight, so that's a big plus, and letting this stay on the higher outputs. I use the ramping feature. If it does have it available, I kind of prefer it over the stepping, but I still do like the stepping outputs as well. But just amazing build quality on this. Really a solid light, probably one of the most solid lights. Now with the copper and stainless steel, these are heavy lights even without the battery in them. So I have a couple of other lights from AstroLux, the S43S I believe it is, and the S41S if I remember correctly, and they are just really a solid light. I take those out. It's an immediate conversation piece. When someone sees a light like this, they're like, hey, wait, can I see that? And they just look at it, they're like, wow. I want to thank Banggood for sending me this to review. Now I'm selling these in my online store with them, so if you are interested in getting this, I do have a special discount for this. Look down in the description area, and in that description will be the link to my store as well as the discount code. Also, when you get to my web page, all you have to do, you'll see at the very top where the flashlight picture is, you'll see the coupon right there. All you got to do is click on it. It will automatically copy and paste that, and you can save some money on this should you be interested in getting it. Well, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please share, like, and subscribe. That way I can bring more of these AstroLux to you in the future. Thanks for watching. Take care.